So last recording went over 17 minutes, which means YouTube probably won't let me upload it, but we'll see. So it's May 20th, 2024. It's around 5 a.m., 6 a.m., something like that. I've been up since 2. And I'm working. I'm always working, I think. Even when I'm playing games, I'm learning lessons and getting insights and making notes. So, anywho, I was talking about the grand machine and my use of smart agents and how I want to use the word intelligence. First of all, here I'll get on my soapbox again. I take issue with the term AI. Artificial, okay. Intelligence, we're very far away from intelligence. The farthest we've gotten is a very sophisticated information system. I'm working on knowledge servers and stuff, which relates to this stuff because, like with Web3, we might not have servers anymore as we typically think of them. In fact, that's another movement that, I don't know, it kind of like cognitive dissonance, right? They're saying sequel's going away. I have a very high level of expertise and experience with sequel. Um, for decades, your go-to is sequel. Anyhow, they're saying, I guess they're saying that databasing will be done based on content. Although I don't know how that can be unless some of my previous ideas of translating human speak into a native alien language internally and has a lot of algorithms for taking like big blocks of patterns and compressing them down into lesser symbols or patterns or tokens. um, and that's what would internally be used. Okay, so I must be saying that for these chains, they don't have to be blockchains. They don't have to, well, we want to embrace proxy chains. That's a very good cybersecurity technique. But I lost my train of thought, so to speak. Right. So we need to learn that and figure that out. How leave SQL behind, embrace content based databasing, I guess. Yeah, oh, yeah, that's right. I was saying how maybe some of the other work I've been doing will fit that. Um, See, there's going to have to be a lot of a retrieval layer because human speak goes in, translated to, well, we could call it a metacode or not byte code. That's machine code. Um, okay, we'll call it a metacode. If you know anything about Java and such, its innovation was that it wasn't just a script engine and it wasn't just compiled. It was kind of something in between, which I think they called metacode, which is kind of like what I'm talking about. So their Java engine can run on this metacode. I guess it's more flexible because it comes from the scripting engine, but can be a compromise towards the speed of a compiled program. So How does it do that? I don't know, but I intend to find out. Reboot. Good old ice water. So this translation layer, okay, this is valid work because I'm trying to take just I keep saying 1.0, my design 1.0, and I'm working on design 2.0, which is wholly other. So, because this is probably something I still want, which, yeah, okay, in the chains, basically, we'll have alien language traversing the chains. Um, so I mentioned the compression algorithm. So the theory is because I'll tell you one thing I don't want to do. I don't want to do native language uh, on the UI or, you know, I mean, native language processing is friggin' huge. I mean, just considering what a system has to do to support the English language, I don't want to put my effort there. And I don't think we have to, because that seems to be one of the areas that AIs are working on and getting somewhere, I guess. So again, getting back to the integration with IoT, um, yeah, I'm willing to use them if they expose an API or if they've gone Web3. The term would probably be Oracle, not to be confused with the company Oracle, which was one of the first companies to implement the idea of a SQL server. IBM came up with the standard originally. SQL and QBE, query by example. Query by example hung around for about 5 years, but I'm not sure why, but people didn't adopt it very much. But SQL, that became very big, but no more. So how do you do a database content based? And so there's no longer a knowledge server. The knowledge server is actually just an interface to swarms of agents, and we've gotten to the point of saying, well, internally, actually, it'll be an alien language. The only way we'll be able to tell what's going on is by having yeah, having an interpreter. You know, we travel through the cyberspace with take a smart agent that's an interpreter to translate things. That's right. I was talking about the need to have compressed symbols that somehow, and it's compromise because there's going to be lossage, right? But smoke and mirrors and stuff. I don't really care what these people are saying. Again, kind of like a sound decks for listening and stuff. Um, we'll probably have an AI interface to handle native language. Now, I don't know what those AIs return though. If I say, "Hey AI, how's it hanging?" Um, what do I expect back? Well, now that's the important thing. What does the user expect back? We don't need to be fluent in English and be able to reply in English. Also, it's going to say and use synonyms and stuff. Though that could be, we could put a spin on it. We could spin stuff. Anyhow, so what we need to do is on the input, we need to retain what's been inputted in some chunked up fashion. Um, in parsing, of course, you could use white space. and typically get a word or something you can at least check out if it's a word. But regardless, say, yeah, I was doing, one of the things I was doing was a window, like an 8-bit window that travels down the data coming in, and there'd be like three things that are kept track and compressed. And the idea is that that should ID something similar, if not exactly what we put in. So data goes in, it's compressed in some kind of algorithm that we hope there isn't too much lossage. Is that a word, lossage? Um, of the information. And that's the layer we're on. We have not, I know of no one on this planet that has broken the information system barrier. So we're talking knowledge, and that opens up a whole Pandora's box. So the okay, say how are you comes in. Let's put a question mark on the end, because that's a symbol. It's all symbols, patterns within patterns, as above, so below, fractals, all this kind of stuff. So that needs to get saved, though. Again, it's going to be a compromise decision, and everything's arbitrary until someone makes a decision, and then it's support and maintenance. And part of my responsibilities as a systems developer is to be aware and consider these things and what impact. Look down the line. There's an awful lot of crappy systems development out of there, and a lot of it is because they don't look far enough down the line. But you can look too far down the line too, and I've got professional stories along that lines that taught me that lesson. So yeah, we almost to make the interface between smart agents. Maybe we should think of the smart agents like a microprocessor, because we've talked about metacode, and so I mean we can make up whatever opcodes we want, you know. There's some basic ones, that then you use assembly language. Um, thinking when my brother programmed our North Star Horizon for my mom's ladies apparel shop in Issaquah. Um, he wrote the damn thing in machine code. Well, yeah, because okay, I better. One day I got to the point where I wanted to do assembly language, right? And so I went to him and asked, "Where's the assembler? I can't find the assembler." And he said, "There isn't one." And I went and checked his notes, and he had written everything out with pencil and paper, the memory mapping, the opcodes, the whole thing. Do you know anyone that's ever programmed in machine code?